Are you ready?
A Shot of Wrestling, episode 171. And away. Wait. Yo.
So take a shot, boy. Is that the message you got? We about to go live, but you're ready to rock. So take a shot. Oh, so take a shot. Oh, yeah. I'm a street breaker. I'm a heartbreaker. This is my dawn. I'm a Ramon Razor. Straight fan, nature boy. About to seek and destroy. It's an SOW. Let me hear you make noise. Take a shot, boy. Is that the message you got? We about to go live, but you're ready to rock. So take a shot.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to A Shot of Wrestling, episode 171. Big deal here tonight. Finally, making his grand return. Marc Chouen. Marc Chouen, welcome back.
Sound the alarms. Call the trumpets.
That's enough.
Get the parade going, baby. Marc Chouen is back on A Shot of Wrestling. Woo!
You comfortable? You know, remember what you're doing here? Just like riding a bike. You ready for this?
Nah, I don't know. How do you hold this thing?
That's what
I'm
she
not
said.
supposed to hold it, right?
That's what she said.
Okay.
And Green Man's here. Green Man, what's going on?
Oh, hey, Green Man.
Hey.
This is my first time seeing Green Man since my bachelor party.
Oh, boy. Here we go. All right, let's start talking about it. Ladies and gentlemen, that's right. The Green Man is back on A Shot of Wrestling. A lot of shit has happened since the last time we've been together. First of all, your bachelor party. Holy shit, we all did survive.
Yeah, barely.
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 By the skin of our teeth, we've escaped what you like to call Temptation Island, what New Yorkers like to call Fire Island.
Fire Island still has a piece of my soul. I'm convinced of that.
And it's never going to give it back.
No.
What's
no.
that drink that they always have there?
Rocket Fuel. I drank a lot of that.
What goes in it?
So it's pretty much a frozen pina colada topped with 151. The 151 sneaks up on you. That's the thing. Like you think you'll have one, you'll have a whole full one. You think you're doing fine. Then you order a second one, and next thing you know, midway through that second one, the first one's creeping up on you.
Wow. Now, when we got there, we kind of saw you and Carson, your boy Carson, just jump into some promos. Was like that going on all weekend?
No, I forgot about that.
We didn't.
I forgot
We actually
about
recorded
that.
it.
No, you did not.
Yes, I did.
So I was drunk already. I at that point, I was a Saturday when I saw you. I wasn't sober. The last time I was sober before that was like Friday at 3:00 in the afternoon. So I was already still fucked up at that time, and I couldn't put together a coherent sentence.
But you cut it deep on him.
Did I really?
Yeah, you went back into the childhood.
No, I did not. Did
Yeah,
I?
yeah, you did.
You still lost, though, but...
I think you called him like your shadow for all your adolescent years. That's what I heard.
Dude, I love that guy.
But
Me
he
and
came back.
him, we go back since middle school.
Yeah. We need to get Carson on the show. Great dude. Great personality.
Big wrestling fan, yeah.
Is he really?
Oh, huge wrestling
He'll
fan.
fit right in.
Yeah.
He'll fit right in. But that was your bachelor party. Did you guys catch Brian Cage's bachelor party?
No. What was his bachelor party?
Well, Bar Wrestling kind of put like a little indie show together called like Brian Cage's bachelor party.
That's really cool.
And the match that he was put in was him versus 4 girls. Sue Young, Tessa Blanchard,
Oh, no.
Kira
way.
Hogan, and Scarlett Bordeaux.
Oh, jeez.
And he gave a lap dance to all those 4 women.
Good for him.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now that's how you do a bachelor party.
That is how you do a bachelor party.
You didn't lap dance with Scarlett Bordeaux.
No, I didn't.
Who did you lap dance with? Did you have any lap dances?
Let's start the show. Start this week's show. This week's wrestling replay in honor of my man's nuptials. Let's throw it way, way, way back. SummerSlam, August 26, 1991. The match made in heaven.
Match made in heaven, yes. That's a good call, actually. Thank you.
From Madison Square Garden in New York, in front of a crowd of 20,000. The British Bulldog, Ricky Steamboat, and the Texas Tornado defeated Power and Glory and the Warlord in 10 minutes, 43 seconds. Bret Hart defeated Mr. Perfect in one of the classic matches of all time to win the IC Championship in 18 minutes, 4 seconds. The Natural Disasters defeated the Bushwhackers in 6 minutes, 27 seconds. Virgil defeated Ted DiBiase to win the $1 Million Championship in 13 minutes, 11 seconds.
Good for Virgil.
The Big Boss Man defeated the Mountie in a jailhouse match in 9 minutes, 38 seconds, a match I remember very vividly as a child.
The Mountie. Anyone remember that song?
Hell yeah. The Legion of Doom defeated the Nasty Boys in a street fight to win the tag team championships in 7 minutes 45 seconds. Erwin R. Scheisser defeated Greg the Hammer Valentine in 7 minutes 7 seconds.
I love how he uses his whole name, not like IRS. You can call him.
What's his name?
Yeah, well, there we go.
And in your main event, Hulk Hogan and the Ultimate Warrior defeated Colonel Mustafa, General Adnan, Sergeant Slaughter in a handicap match with Sid Justice, a special guest referee, in 12 minutes 40 seconds. That's the match made in hell.
I don't really remember that one.
Does that sound like a main event worthy match?
No, it doesn't.
Not at all.
It doesn't. But
Not at
we'll
all.
we'll look back and Extreme Rules. This one from 10 years from now, I think Baron Corbin and Lacey Evans versus Becky Lynch and Seth Rollins. Not really memorable.
Oh,
What?
you're already calling it.
I mean,
Like, what's going to happen? They're not going to lose.
they're not going to lose.
They're not going to lose. I mean, I think it would be a great story if they did lose, because then it's like a lot more could be told. Like between Seth Rollins and Bex, they're gonna probably get into a little argument down the line because they just lost each other's belts.
Right, but it's not going to happen.
No.
I mean, and
And it shouldn't.
also
It'd be stupid
if Baron
if it does.
Corbin wins, like, it doesn't even do anything for him either. Like, there's like no character development with Baron Corbin. It's just remained flatlined throughout his whole career so far. And I don't necessarily know who to blame for that, but he needs a change.
He did change. He was the Applebee's manager or host. What do you call him? What is the internet calling him nowadays?
Actually, I have no clue.
I don't even know anymore. I hear him call him boring all the time.
Oh,
So not only did Macho Man and Miss Elizabeth get married on screen, this is also the day
it's beautiful.
Ultimate Warrior held Vince McMahon hostage. Remember this? This was the destruction of the Ultimate Warrior.
No.
He was going to walk out, but he demanded $55,000.
Yes.
Sorry, $550,000, or else he would walk out. Vince paid him and fired him right
Yeah.
after that match. This was the
So
beginning.
that's from the dirt sheets. You're picking this up.
beginning of the end of the Ultimate Warrior.
Yeah.
Quote unquote
Wow.
destruction. Little tidbit.
Do you think that was the right move for Vinnie Mac to make?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think so too. I think so
It sets an example to the locker room.
absolutely. But he also had to come through his obligation to the fans,
Right.
Like he said, Ultimate Warrior was going to be at this event,
And
So you
Ultimate
know what?
Warrior at that time was a huge draw.
Right.
So
so it's like, all right, I'll pay you, and I'm
Right.
firing you tomorrow.
would Vince McMahon do that today?
No.
No. There's no one on this roster that's Ultimate Warrior level.
There's no one on this roster who has the cojones enough to pull that shit off right now. It's a different world in the wrestling business. It's a different world.
Who would have that? Leo Rush would
No.
have the balls to do that, but
Ouch.
Okay, wrong question. A
Burn.
lot of people have the balls to do it. Who would actually?
None of them.
get their ass
None
fired.
of them have the balls to do
who would
it.
not get their ass fired
Yeah,
for it?
Leo Rush get fired.
Ronda Rousey wouldn't get fired.
Mm-hmm.
Brock Lesnar wouldn't get fired. Actually, I take it back. Brock Lesnar's the only one that could do it and get away with it.
No, Brock Lesnar is in the position to do it, but if he would, it would put Vince McMahon in a position to fire him to set that example.
No.
To say not even if you're that Brock Lesnar big, should you be able to get away with shit like that?
I think part of me actually believes that Vince McMahon is legit afraid of Brock Lesnar.
It's possible.
I don't blame him.
It's possible.
Because I really feel like he lets Brock Lesnar do whatever he wants.
Well, this pay-per-view is known as the Wedding of Macho Man and Miss Elizabeth, transitioning to Mark Schwann's wedding. How'd the wedding go, buddy? How you feeling?
The wedding went
Head
perfect,
head a
man.
little heavier?
Hand is very heavy, actually. The ring, it feels weird.
Weighing you down, ball and chain?
Yeah. Well, it just feels different. Especially when I wash my hands, I'm just like, what is this thing? Like, I haven't had wings with this thing yet. I don't
Do you wear it
know.
all the time? Do you take it off, like showering, or do you
I
sleep?
forgot my ring yesterday. I went to a Third Eye Blind concert in Jones Beach, and I forgot my ring. So
Already started, huh? Already started.
I'm not a ring guy. I never have been. But
Living
it's
that semi-charmed life, huh?
well played. I saw what you did there. They played Motorcycle Drive By. It was amazing, I have to say.
All this hard work, did it pay off? Did everything go smoothly? Was the highlight of the night,
Oh.
besides your Roddy Piper entrance?
Yeah, I had an epic entrance.
Epic is understatement. That was pretty epic.
Thank you.
Badass.
Thank you. That entrance is great. It was actually I did a Roddy Piper theme. I actually had bagpipes.
Yeah, bagpipes and all. That's great.
and a snare drum. And then I had my wife come out to Charlotte Flair music, and we did the Ric Flair strut and the woo at the end. It was awesome. No one expected that to happen. That was a big
Again, I'd be
highlight.
surprised if they did expect that to happen.
Right. We had a really cool first dance as well. We did a medley of songs. Actually, we didn't do like one first song. We we actually edited it ourselves.
Really?
And put it together.
Well, I mean, the wedding's costing you a fortune. I mean, you can't pay for the remix.
Right. Well, it was more special that way, doing it ourselves, too. But, dude, everything went great without a hiccup. One thing is we couldn't fit all the groomsmen in the limo. We're all big guys, so at one point I was freaking out because it was time to go, and we were running late, so I thought I was going to see the bride when I wasn't supposed to, so I was freaking out. I was like, I'm ordering an Uber! I'm ordering an Uber! I started ordering an Uber, but the guys figured it out and got me in. Like, dude, cancel that thing, you fucking psycho. Oh, the AC was broke. So it was a hot fucking day, and we're all crammed in, these big fucking guys. That limo sucked. I have to say that. And that was it.
Uber pool?
I was going to do Uber by myself.
Oh, okay. But pool?
No,
Like
you're
you
not
weren't
going
gonna
to.
pool it? No.
I don't do pool in Long Island, actually.
You can't.
You can't Uber pool in some parts. You can't Uber pool in Westchester. You can only Uber pool in the city.
Yeah. You meet some really interesting people when you Uber pool.
I like
to say.
Uber pool, I
Yeah.
have to say, yeah.
You meet some very interesting people. I'm the type of person who gets into an Uber with other people and ignore everybody. Like they're not even there. Like they're nobody. And then they do the same, but then they get so comfortable and not really noticing that I'm there that they'll start having conversations on their phone. And I'm like, this motherfucker is insane. Like, what is going on in his mind? Like, have you ever gotten into an Uber with someone at 2 o'clock in the morning who's been out drinking
Oh, I love
and
those.
trying to get a booty call next to someone who's just finishing off a shift at work and it's tired as hell, but then she still has her laptop and she's clicking. I'm like, what's going on?
I want to Uber pool with you, buddy.
Imagine if you did pick up an Uber. I'm sure it would have been a fun, safe, smooth ride. Just imagine an Uber driver, a mild-mannered Uber driver. Let's call him Stu.
Hi, Stu.
He picks up a passenger who turns out to be a cop hot on the trail of a brutal killer.
Oh my gosh, this sounds so
He's
interesting.
thrust into a harrowing ordeal where he desperately tries to hold on to his wits, his life, and his 5-star rating.
What?
Episode 171, brought to you by Stuber, starring Camille Nangiani and Dave Batista, now playing in a theater near you. You were saying.
That's amazing. That's amazing. Only Putty would find a way to tie in that. Fucking Batista Mark.
It's true.
When you said Uber, you opened the door for me. I had to walk right into it.
Oh my god. That's amazing. Kudos to you,
Thank
buddy.
you, sir.
You know what I
Kudos.
want for the next episode? I want a review of this movie. I want you to go see the movie.
Damn right.
And I want to
We
review.
can't do it tomorrow.
I want.
Is it out?
It's out today, National Dave Batista New Movie Day.
Well, I'm surprised you're here.
I had work. Obligation. This is your return. If you weren't coming tonight, I would have recorded tomorrow and started the movie tonight.
Hell yeah! You should go to one of those movie theaters where they like have a bed and they serve you food and shit.
I'm going to one of those tomorrow, actually. I don't think they do the bed thing, but I'm going to the Alamo.
Did you see that? Like I recently saw
did
some
see
pictures
that.
of the bed thing.
I did see that. I'm going to the Alamo Draft House tomorrow to see Spider-Man.
Okay.
That'll be fun.
When you got to the studio tonight, I asked you about your wedding. You kept calling her your fiance. You used to calling her your wife yet?
No.
Take
It's
some
weird.
time? Abel, how long did it take?
I gotta say, it is very weird. I don't know. So can I get you into my head for a little bit? Get in my head.
No.
Get
Let's
right-
move on.
Get ready. Fasten your seatbelts. Here we go. So for a few months after I got married, I don't know why, but in my mind, I didn't want to call her my wife because I felt like it was very,
Really?
it was very like a possessive thing, like modern American male, like going back and this is my wife, you know. So I was just like, this is a person. This is Cynthia. This is,
You were
like
overthinking that
I
shit.
totally was. So I introduced her as Cynthia, right? To the point that even after my son was born, I would be like, oh, Cynthia, my son's mother.
So this
People
is
would
a
not-
while.
Yeah, for a good 2 years, I guess. People would be like, wait a second, I've always wondered because you mentioned your Cynthia as your son's mother. Is she your wife? I was like, yeah, she's my wife. Really? Because it's kind of weird that you just call her like your son's mother or Cynthia. And I'm like, yeah, but she's a person. She's a person,
So you're making
goddammit.
this like a whole political thing now.
It was weird. So now you could exit, return back to your seats.
Well, it's not like that for me at all. It's just like, for so long, it took me a bit at first calling her my fiance because I was just so used to calling her my girlfriend. Then eventually I got used to calling her my fiance. Now it's just like weird. It's my wife. And then when I realized it's my wife, and I actually had a conversation with her the other night about this, it feels like so heavy in a way. Like now, like everything, like it's like much more serious. Like when I kiss her, like this means something now.
Finally,
like this is
our
my
kisses mean something.
this is my
See,
wife.
I don't feel that when I kiss her.
Easy, that's my wife.
Well, you were busy getting married. Green Man filled in for you for BWF
Thank you, Green Man, for doing that.
SummerFest. You missed a great show.
It was hot. I gotta say, it was hot.
Oh, it was hot my wedding day too. Trust me, I know that. It was a very hot day.
A big accomplishment for both of us. You picked Rick Recon as your one to watch in 2019. I picked Ace Andrews. Both of us win championships that night.
Okay, you're rubbing that in my face here.
That you guys lost the tag team championship? No, you brought it up. I didn't. But BX Strong, undefeated, 5-0, two-man faction tag team champions. That's fantastic.
Oh, God.
Is that what I'm saying? I didn't hear you. Look into the microphone.
First of all, they're a tag team, all right? They're
two-man
BX
faction.
Strong.
Thank
They're
you,
not a
Green
faction.
Man. Thank you.
That is the stupidest thing I've ever
It's
heard.
the dumbest thing.
Batista and Triple H were in a tag team.
Batista and Triple H.
Sorry, Batista and Ric Flair were in a tag team. They were part of Evolution. They were a faction.
when they were tag team champions.
But then
they
who
were
else?
a tag
Who else
team.
is in BX Strong other than
We can't confirm that yet.
Ace? Okay, you can't.
Well, let's talk about why they are a tag team, and this is something that Michael J. you cannot deny. One of the things that you enjoy about tag team wrestling is when a tag team comes together and dresses in the same type of
uniformity.
tights.
Yes.
Yeah, they show unity.
Common themes throughout the show.
And then recently at a BWF show, I did see their ring attire
Hell yeah, bro.
change to be more uniform, like a tag team. Ace Andrews
A team.
and Picasso.
Faction.
Right.
What a great night, though. Great women's action. It was a great show top to bottom.
Listen,
Poor Hank Flanders was sent to the hospital that night.
was he really?
Yeah, so Kevin cut touch with him all week. He's doing fine. He's home. He's recovering. So speedy recovery to him. But
What a great match, though.
Great
Him
match.
and
you
TJ.
missed a good show, buddy. You missed a good show.
Sounds like I did. I wish I could have been there to celebrate with Rick Recon.
And console East Coast Syndicate.
East Coast, I don't necessarily know. I mean, like, hell, I know they didn't get pinned.
They didn't get pinned.
So, I mean, there's debate for that. I mean, did they really lose?
Yeah.
No, they didn't lose. It just so happened that,
delusional.
BX Strong was there at the right place at the right time. That doesn't necessarily mean that East Coast Syndicate was the bad team that day.
Oh, no. It wasn't a bad team at all.
It just means the fact that they're owed their shot again.
Yeah, absolutely. I'd love to see that match. Love to see that match.
Well, I should say 1-on-1, 2-on-2 for that one. Get your awesome out of there because they're always losing. They always like to be on their backs. No.
For a team called You're Awesome, is he? Oops.
They always lose.
You know who is awesome?
Who?
Dave Batista. Did you guys watch this Batista 24 documentary on the network?
Oh, man.
No.
I actually did.
Fantastic. You
I
did.
actually did.
Oh,
and
great
based
piece of
on
work.
your recommendation, because I listened to last week's show and
Yeah.
you were really hyped about it, and I was like, all right, let me take a look. Let me see how this goes. I'm not a big Batista guy.
You are not.
I do not think that his interview, like so casual behind stage, kind of connected with me, but his story connected with me.
Oh, great
Like
story,
he was
yeah.
sitting backstage, like doing his interview, like he didn't give a fuck. But he was very open. He was very honest
Very open,
about
yeah.
his struggles.
Oh, he's got a great story.
Like he came from nothing.
Yeah.
He came from nothing to be something.
I love, I don't know if this was on that special, but I heard the story about him when he transitioned to Hollywood. Did you guys hear about that one? Or no?
Fill me in.
Yeah, I did.
I think he probably.
Phil Greenman in.
Yeah, for like what? But it was a year? The dude, he ran out of money because he wasn't getting paid by WWE anymore.
Yeah, he blew all his money.
He blew his
Yeah.
money, and the dude was basically starving. He was a struggling actor,
Wow.
like everyone else. He already had a name for himself, and
And then he got the Guardian of the
he
Galaxy
got the
gig.
Guardians of the Galaxy gig.
Yeah.
And, like, dude, he was
briefly
basically
talked about
he was
that.
living off nothing.
Story I'm familiar with because I watched Batista. I Walk Alone, exclusively available on W Home Video.
Exactly. A lot of the story that he was telling, it did remind me of that because you've already gone over the Batista story. One of the things that did strike,
Which was good because they didn't spend too much time spending on his childhood and growing up. It was more of him
Like
why he
after.
left and his struggles in Hollywood and then his wanting to come back, storybook ending, his quote-unquote dream chaser. If you want something to watch on the network, I highly recommend Batista Dream Chaser, W24.
I'll tell you one line that really stuck out to me, and this rings really true into us who are trying to get into this wrestling business and trying to do something because it's something that we're passionate about. He said, I got to a point where I was very passionate about this business. I was very passionate about being successful, and there's a lot of sacrifices that you had to sacrifice. And he sacrificed his family life for it. and he was very clear and very open about, like I wasn't going to be able to do both, and that was the sacrifice. So in this point, that's something that I'm not ready to do, and I know I will not ever be in the moment to be like, you know what, I love wrestling so much that, all right, I'm getting a divorce, I'm going to put all my money in this. But there's a lot of people in the business right now who come into it because they are single, because they're able to, not leave anything behind and just go all in.
That's why Mark's here, because you left the show to focus on your family.
Yeah.
Something Batista wasn't willing to do. He wanted to chase that brass ring, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
Well, here's the thing. I mean, I think any dream you have in life, it takes great sacrifice. Yes, you're going to sacrifice time. You're going to sacrifice money. You're going to sacrifice family. You're going to sacrifice friends. You're going to sacrifice a lot of stuff. There are people in your life that are going to get it. And I could say I'm fortunate enough to have a lot of people in my life that do understand.
You're welcome.
Thank you. But, I'm not as... There are people that are just not as blessed or not as lucky. And I've encountered that too, where people just didn't understand, didn't get it. And guess what? We're not friends anymore. I'm not together with that person anymore. It happens. You can't lose focus on what you want.
But Mark, you've always been an actor. Like, that's always something that you wanted to do, correct? It's always something that you've pursued. So, like, if I would have met you 10 years ago, I would have known you wanted to be an actor. It was something you were pursuing, right?
Right.
Okay. For me, for example, me breaking into what we're doing, the podcast, the commentary, and...
That was after you're married?
That was after I lived a civilian life, right? Mm-hmm. Like a life where, this was not a possibility. This was not me going to be like, hey, I want this opportunity. The opportunities came to us, and it was great because of the podcast, but it wasn't like, hey, we're going to do this podcast because we want to break into the wrestling business, because we want to make something of a name for ourselves in this business.
But guess what, though? People change.
It is now.
People change. Dreams change. Goals change. I mean, I never thought in my wildest dreams I would be involved in professional wrestling. I've always had a desire. I've loved professional wrestling ever since I was, God, I don't know, 6, 5. I don't even know. I never thought in my wildest dreams I would be in it somehow, some way. And yet here I am. Within this last, not even a year yet, I'm involved. I'm heavily involved in the indie scene right now. And that's me kind of like, I hate to say half-assing it, because there's a lot of things I had to do for my wedding and getting married and yada yada. But I'm ready to take the next step now to do more so full throttle, because I love it that much.
But the type of wrestling schedule that we're holding to now is very similar to an acting schedule.
It is.
Where it's very random throughout the day. It's not like a 9 to 5.
It
right?
is, yeah.
So it's very difficult for someone, let's say in my position, to say to my wife, all right, you know what, I am going to be away all weekend because of wrestling shows. I am going to go do a podcast late at night and not come back home till like 3 a.m. But it's something that you've already grown accustomed to your loved ones and the people around you. So it is a little bit different.
Well,
but I saw...
It's like, it's not like I'm giving up acting for wrestling. I'm still doing both. And...
It's because you're great at it, by the way.
Thank you. But, it's... I think in not just talking about marriage or a romantic relationship, it involves, platonic relationships, professional relationships. Everything comes down to communication. And I'm not saying, Abel, that you don't communicate with your wife, but, I'm just saying in general, you always you should communicate with your partner. Just let them know what's going on, what you're thinking, what you're feeling, what you want to do with your life, and just let them know. Not necessarily seek permission. I don't
on the same page.
Yeah, and just work out a plan.
And don't communicate like Maria Kanellis did when she told Mike Bennett that she was pregnant on Monday Night Raw.
Right, that's poor communication right there. That's a great example of poor communication.
But I'm sure we'll get more into that in Raw Cheers and Heels. Michael J. Putty.
Yeah, there was a moment in the Batista documentary where he's earned all this money.
Right.
And you spoil it. You're an idiot. You just buy frivolously and pointless stuff.
There are people who do that. When they get money, they've never had it. Yeah.
But he's traveled on the road so much, he felt bad for his wife. So he bought his wife a beautiful, beautiful car.
Mercedes-Benz.
A very expensive car.
Mm-hmm.
They got divorced.
Custom.
She got it in the settlement. So he bought it back from her. And it's one of the lighthearted moments was he bought this car twice. I'm like, damn.
Wow. That's like a Ric Flair story, I got to say.
Because he was so invested in this car. It meant so much to him.
I got divorced.
He had to buy it twice. I mean, it's one
I bought the car back.
It's one of those rough moments where you're like, ugh. Although their schedule is easier, rougher than our indie schedule, I guess, because you only do it on the weekends pretty much, right?
Right.
Your week's free to do
my week is free to do it. But there are times I have to work like acting gigs on weekends.
You come right after.
That's typically more so like the indie scene in movies and the entertainment world. Well, I guess this entertainment as well, we should say. But you know what I mean. No, yeah, of course. I mean, but Batista it's much more grueling because not only does he have the acting schedule, but he has to keep up with appearances and he has to do the interviews and the campaign tours and any other function he has to do. I mean, it's the same shit. It's the same with me with acting. Like, it's not just I'm on set or I'm at a wrestling show. Like, there's a lot of network events that I have to go to. You're pretty much a socialite, and that's just your way of getting more work.
Speaking of acting and Batista, make sure you check out Stuber, available now in a theater near you.
Are they really sponsoring the show?
Hell yeah, bro. So we can go on and on all night about Batista. I mean, at least I can. But I see your drink's empty, Mark. Let's go downstairs.
It is empty.
Give you an Irish glass kiss there.
Good eye.
And we'll come back to the week that was wrestling news.
It's time for In the News with Michael J. Putty, Green Man, and Marc Chouen.
All right, guys, ready to get some news this week?
Yeah, lay it on me, bruh.
For his triumphant return to Monday Night Raw, Roman Reigns won the first ever Best W Moment Award at the ESPYs this week.
How did that not happen?
Yeah, I
Cheers to
said
Roman.
that when the news was announced. The one came close. That was the only one you can go with.
Right. You can't top that.
Saying, and I quote, "For me, just to be able to be healthy was the only award I needed. This is just so flattering for everyone to kind of lift me up and show the support system and love from everybody. It was never about awards or anything like that. It was just about awareness. So that makes sense. I mean, like I said, no one came close.
No.
I wonder if that's why they introduced this award this year.
I was just gonna say because if they do it again next year, like who could actually? It would actually have to be a WWE moment.
Yeah, we'll find out.
Right?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. Maybe they did it because of this, but WWE is catching so much steam. Wrestling in general right now is catching a lot of I'm blanking on the word here.
Steam.
Yeah. Mainstream news. It's reaching
Once again, yeah.
Once again, but probably more so than ever.
But this would have been great in the Attitude Era because there were so many moments after moments after moments.
But keep in mind, WWE had that stank to them at that time.
Yeah, that's true.
WWF, I should say, back then. Now it's more, it's more friendly to everyone. They're viewing it more so as a sport. I mean, ESPN is covering it, for God's sake.
Well, they used to when the coach was there, then they stopped. So I'm kind of surprised they brought it back because they're not really talking about WWE anymore. I'm surprised they brought this back out of nowhere.
They still have, there's still an influence there.
So I watched some of the show. That's the last half of the show I watched, waiting for this award to come. Reigns won it on the red carpet during the pre-show. Thanks. But congratulations to him. See what happens next year.
Maybe they make the main show.
Maybe. Doubt it. The news. Apparently, Green Man, he posted this on our social medias. Enzo Amore and Joey Janela got into a fight during a Blink-182 concert.
It wasn't a fight.
Okay.
It was a verbal encounter. Fists were put up.
Yeah, fists were put up.
Were they
chests were puffed out?
Were fists to cuffs though?
No.
Yeah, one of the biggest boring stories of the week, right? One of those nothing stories of the week.
No, not at all. I think it's challenging a lot of people to think if it's a work or if it's actually something that really happened.
Every story I read about this is not a work. This is definitely not a work. I'm like, then why am I reading about this then? Who cares?
Well, I mean, if you look at the Twitters between those two before this actually happened,
Here this guy, see?
I feel like it's a little bit of a work.
Instagram Mark, the Twitters.
I feel like it's a little bit of a work. They both found themselves at the right place at the right time. They were both at the Blink-182 concert, and I think they're plotting for a future match between them.
Doesn't need a job.
Yeah.
Mark, any comments about this?
Not really. I mean,
moving on, no problem.
I'm just more concerned about Blink-182 right now.
Because
but this is stop. All right,
Little Wayne left the concert tour.
Let me tell you something.
I did hear that.
For 2 weeks.
You guys talked a lot about AEW being competition for WWE. The WWE is scared because AEW is coming around.
What show are you listening to? We don't talk about that at all.
Yes, you talk about it all the time.
Not me.
He believes AEW is awesome.
Yeah, but he hasn't been here for 2
You're
months.
a loyalist with WWE.
Sorry, it's been so long.
You don't see
Time
AEW as competition. This is the competition. This is what the WWE wants to capitalize on, and it's not just AEW. So it stems a lot further than that. It stems in the competition of independent wrestling. It stems from
It does.
allowing performers to actually create something that generates an interest in the fans, in the population, that says, holy shit, is it real? Is it fake? Who cares? Because you know what? In a year from now, when you see Joey Janela versus Enzo Amore at 0-0, you called it, you're going to want to watch. You're going to want to watch.
You know, it shouldn't be a year from now. Like, if it is a work, it needs to be done soon because people are just going to forget. Again, like we talked about, you know, Twitter has a shelf life of 5 minutes. If that is a work, well done. But I don't necessarily know. I think it's just the fact that Enzo Amore is behind this. He's just so whacked out of his mind.
Desperate for attention?
Yeah, desperate for attention. Like, you know, I'm not one to bash anyone here, but I'll gladly bash Enzo. Like, you know, the dude's just so fucking out there. And like, you don't know what you're going to get from him. And I don't necessarily mean that in a good way.
Let's move on. Wait, too much time talking about Enzo. The last time WWE held tapings of Raw and SmackDown at MSG was back in November of 2009. Well, this year, they announced after a 10-year absence they're coming back to MSG. That's fantastic news.
Right. Thank you.
Fantastic news.
Finally.
I'm gonna fucking go to Brooklyn to fucking the shitty Barclays Center. I can hop on a train, go to MSG.
Take that LIRR.
Yeah, the lure.
I miss like shows like that in the Garden, you know?
I do know, yes.
So wait,
go?
It holds like what, 19,000 people, right?
I think like 20,000. They expanded
20,000.
it. Yeah.
They did expand it, huh?
Yeah, you got a Sky Bridge now.
This is the New Garden. The New Garden is bougie, so you could get some
I
nice
haven't been
craft
to the New
beers
Garden.
there. Mm-hmm. Maybe we should get a Shot of Wrestling skybox.
Let's do this.
When is it?
September 9th and 10th.
I have to look into that.
A week before my birthday.
No one cares.
2 months before.
Obviously.
2 months before his birthday. September.
Oh, yeah.
If your birthday's in November, to make Shots of Wrestling.
Green Man,
Just testing you. I'm just testing you.
Did you forget your birthday again?
We're not at his bachelor party. Calm down.
I'm just testing you.
In other news, there's been much speculation about the future of LAX at Impact Wrestling. Apparently, their contract expired after this past Slammiversary event, but I totally forgot about. Her Slammiversary was awesome. Props to everybody over there at Impact. The team is still under contract until August. The WWE really wants LAX.
Really?
They are aware they have a big offer from AEW. Right now, it's unknown which deal LAX will take. I'm assuming they go with AEW, no? More freedom. They seem like the guys want freedom, more advancement to go to indie stuff.
Here's the
do
thing.
other promotions.
A month ago, I would have said yes. Wow. Now you have this whole change of Paul Heyman and Eric Bischoff taking over respectfully Raw and SmackDown.
But Vince still has the final say, though.
Vince still has his final say, but apparently Vince is now listening more so than ever. I mean, we're seeing glimpses of what's going on here with Paul Heyman and Eric Bischoff. We're not going to see the full effect until after Extreme Rules. You know, it's going to be interesting to see. You know, it might make people listen a little bit more as far as the offer from WWE. We'll see.
We will see.
LAX is something special. I remember going to House of Glory, probably one of my second or third independent shows, and this was a group that really stood out to me. They were really tight in what their gimmick, and I use that word loosely because like really tight into what they were representing. They were representing the Spanish culture. They were representing Boricuas. They were representing the minority. Their in-ring work was really tight. When they went to Impact Wrestling, they were able still to keep of what that original LAX or NYFBO was, right? And they, you know, got together with LAX, and it still kind of created something very special. I think if that went to the WWE, they would not know what to do with it.
I'd love to see the Usos versus LAX.
That would be cool. That would be cool to watch.
See what happens.
It depends. Like, well, Green Man, how would you feel if LAX were if they were in NXT, keeping the LAX moniker and their whole gimmick? How would you feel about that?
NXT, huh?
I think they could probably do really good there. The thing is, I think the WWE, if they were smart, they would really just let them be who they are and represent the Spanish community. Because that's something that I think the WWE wants to capitalize on. You know, everybody's always looking for like the next Mexican star, someone to be that next Rey Mysterio, and Andrade Cien Almas is being groomed to be that person. But there's so much more to the Latinos out there than just Mexico.
No, absolutely. I think that's always been the biggest problem with WWE.
Are they from Puerto Rico?
What's that?
They're from Puerto Rico, not Mexico.
No,
I'm
he's
saying that
right.
Mexico gets represented as the Spanish community in wrestling when there's a lot more to it. And Puerto Rico has a lot of...
Oh, my God. Are you kidding me?
A lot of lineage in professional wrestling.
But here's the thing, and I was actually about to touch on what Green Man was saying here, was that the problem with WWE is, yes, they're always looking for that next Spanish star, but they want it to be Rey Mysterio. They want it to be the next Rey Mysterio. And you're right. That's Mexican wrestling. That's Mexican culture right there. It's not necessarily Latino per se. There's a large amount of Latino wrestling out there that's not just Mexico. And it doesn't necessarily have to be Rey Mysterio. I think it comes down to Vince McMahon, honestly. I mean, I think that's the problem. But now apparently things might be different. Who knows?
I've heard that before.
We've all heard it before. But, I think AEW is forcing WWE's hand into this.
I know the news. Story I've been following closely. I have sources. Yeah, I have sources, Sebastian. Zachary Manson, the man who attacked Bret Hart in the Hall of Fame ceremony, remember this?
Yes.
Has arraignment postponed yet again. And now face trial, allegedly, September 9th. His arraignments keep getting pushed back and pushed back and pushed back. If found guilty, he'll face a year in prison. Yeah, that's not enough.
Put him in life.
For life, exactly. Put him in solitary.
Put him the sharpshooter for life.
Now, Bret Hart himself went on record saying he feels the punishment he suffered immediately after his attack is more than justified. So he's kind of forgiven him.
Agreed.
He's getting punched in the face by Ronda Rousey's husband and Dash Wilder is breaking his nose or something like that.
Fucking idiot.
Bret probably moved on already. He was just like, wait, that happened? Oh, yeah.
I'm pretty much... I've moved on.
I guess I'm the only one who hasn't. Okay, let's move on. Daniel Cormier teased about facing Brock Lesnar in the WWE ring. Remember when Cormier's last fight, Brock Lesnar came to the ring, octagon, and they had a little physical altercation?
Yes.
The story was Brock Lesnar, Daniel Cormier in UFC, but Brock retired unexpectedly. So that match won't happen in the UFC. Well, during the ESPY Awards, Cormier mentioned how he might have to go to WWE to finish this fight.
Ooh.
Now, we know Daniel Cormier is auditioning for a commentary role, but you're a UFC guy, right?
Not really.
No.
I'll watch if it's on.
Do you want to see Daniel Cormier in the WWE? I think this match will lose its luster in a scripted, predetermined outcome.
That's the thing. Like it's just like I think people want to see a real fight between these two.
They're going to get that in WWE.
They're not going to get that in WWE.
No, I think you'll get something better.
Really?
Because if you think about what they were able to do with Ronda Rousey and bring her from where she was in the UFC and bring her credibility behind it to bring Cormier versus Brock, you could actually tell a story. And it won't just be like these two guys are going to go and fight and the fight's over. Like, this could be a long, drawn-out thing of, like,
but not
them
everyone
calling each other out, passing each other, getting into a scuffle behind stage, and leading up to, like, a must-see main event fight.
Not everyone from UFC or MMA can translate into WWE. I mean, look at Dan Severn. He was a fucking animal in UFC, but it didn't necessarily translate into WWE.
I went to the when WrestleMania was at in New Orleans. I went to the Bloodsport. At that time it was Matt Riddle's Bloodsport, and they did this whole thing where they were mixing MMA people and people from that realm with actual independent wrestlers. That is something that maybe the WWE could actually capitalize, where they remove all the ropes, and make it more of that fight feel, still with a predetermined outcome and telling that story. But I would want to see something like that.
It would be interesting. I feel like they can't do a whole pay-per-view or special like that, but they could probably do a match like that. That would be interesting.
Yeah, just one match, like main event of SummerSlam.
I dig it.
Do you?
I would dig it.
No, he's just appeasing me.
No, I'm picturing that, and I think that would be cool. I mean, like, as of right now, who you would do that on the roster with? I mean, it would be interesting to see someone do that with Brock Lesnar and Bobby Lashley, to do that type of match. That would be cool.
He wants Lesnar.
He does want Lesnar. He's probably going to get Lesnar at one point. But the thing is, Brock Lesnar, he can't be a face. Bobby Lashley is not a very good face.
Nope.
He needs some character work, and is Paul Heyman the guy to help him do that? Maybe. Let's see.
Definitely. That's all the news I got this week. Anything you want to talk about?
Yeah, that's all the news out there, right? I missed the last month.
Yeah, you missed a lot.
I missed a lot. What happened?
Go back and listen to the last 4 episodes. You find out.
Yeah,
Catch
okay,
yourself
cool.
up. Well, episode 171 brought to you by Stuber. Hear me talk about it. Let's play the trailer. Let's get some cheers and heels.
Please be a 5-star ride.
Uber?
Yeah. Be cool, be nice. I'm Stu. How do you do?
Compton. I'm LAPD. Let's go.
Do you have a more specific address?
Compton!
Stop yelling, neighborhoods. That's not how Uber works. Hi, ladies.
What the hell's going on?
You selected the Uber pool option.
Over what? Ladies, official police business.
Is that even real?
Get out of the car!
Official police business?
Just going to see a friend. Take this.
Oh, I am not touching that.
It's a baby gun. It allows you to fire it while crying.
Is this an Uber?
Get angry!
Stop that! Why are you laughing?
Own it!
Get in the lead! You shot me!
You got shot in the leg. Good for you, man. You're such the first guy. You're scared me, Stu, and I love it!
How do you know my
I
dad?
got an idea! I'm gonna put this propane tank at them! You shoot it and blow up their car!
You kidnapped me.
Doesn't freaking Jaws?
Exactly! Just like Jaws, it's gonna work! Ready?
We killed some people.
Go!
Take the shot, Stu!
Just defeat him!
Stu, take the shot!
I got this. Hello, operator? We need help. Someone's trying to murder us. Hello, operator? We need help. Someone's trying to murder us.
A Shot of Wrestling presents Cheers and Heel.
Thanks, Shane. Let's get back to some Raw and SmackDown. You watch Raw and SmackDown, or are you basking in the glow of wedding bliss?
What's Raw and SmackDown?
There are 2 shows that happen. Raw's getting better and better, but this week,
AEW? Oh, yeah, cool.
Love AEW.
I'm kidding.
Let's talk about
I know
AEW.
Raw and SmackDown. My God, I've watched it.
Raw's getting better and better, but this kind of took a couple steps back. But like Lizzie Evans and Baron Corbin aren't a power couple.
No, I don't know why they keep calling
But that's the
themselves that.
storyline.
I mean, guess Kofi Kingston and Bayley, are they a power couple? No, they're not. They're just fucking annoying. And
Well-
Drake Maverick's wife's kind of hot, though.
Are
See her
you,
in that white
are
dress?
you over Kofi Kingston?
Yeah.
Really?
I never was under him.
Fickle.
When did he lose you?
Fickle.
I was never under him.
Fickle. Fickle.
I mean,
Daniel
good
Bryan's
for him. I'm not investing in this storyline at all, but okay, good for him. I love his story. Let them get the opportunity.
But
As
the
far as-
opportunity is over. Time to move on.
No, I think go for it, but I'm not invested in his storylines at all.
See, that's the problem right now with WWE. Who's that person that if you put the strap on, that they're going to be able to carry that company? That's the problem.
Well, the problem is you get
There's no
all
one.
these indie wrestlers. I'm sorry to knock it, but like not all indie wrestlers are like this. I'll say that. But you get all these guys that focus on the craft and the moves in the ring. Great, they're phenomenal athletes, but they don't have a lot of character work. They don't know how to necessarily speak in the mic. They're not comfortable with that role. You don't necessarily care about that role.
So you need somebody who gets both of them,
You need a combination of the two.
like Darius Carter, current BCW champion.
That's
Yeah, but
that's a knock. Are you gonna say that to me right here? Are you serious right now?
Why?
Are you gonna say that to me right now? Are you gonna say that in my face and expect me not to be?
Yeah, moving on. Why are we having a beat the clock challenge for the SmackDown Women's Championship on Raw?
Why?
I see you're still upset. You okay? You all right?
I'm not. I'm not okay
He's
with
staring you
that.
down. I mean-
That's still fresh about the whole Darius Carter thing. That's why.
Good showing by Sarah Logan. Kevin Owens did a quote unquote. I don't like that they're calling this a pipe bomb by Kevin Owens.
Who's calling it a pipe bomb?
The internet's calling it a hype bomb.
These fucking marks. AEW marks calling it a fucking pipe bomb.
No, but where did it come from? Did the word pipe bomb come from the internet, or did it come from the WWE?
Internet.
Internet first. All right, cool.
Like, okay, this is
Just the comparison.
good job, Marks. You don't know what the term pipe bomb means, but okay.
Look, see, now people think that this is an Eric Bischoff.
He's not even on the show yet.
Right. Right. No, it's not even the Marks. I think Booker T said
Really?
something.
Okay.
Booker.
What did he say?
That he sees Eric Bischoff's influence. Is it Booker T or someone else maybe? But
Are you gonna give me fake news?
no, it was someone it was an actual person that gave you.
Yeah, actual person give you fake news. Apparently,
I'll look it up right now. I'm
So
pretty sure it's Booker T.
So here's my problem. Here's my problem with this booking: the fact that people are referring it to a pipe bomb. If Eric Bischoff is taking over, right? If he's taking over, whenever it happens, and
After
this is
Extreme
part of
Rules.
his influence, he's recycling. All he's doing is recycling things that have worked in the past.
Well,
welcome to wrestling
he's-
business.
What's
Yeah.
wrong with that?
Welcome to wrestling
You
business.
know, but
Look at
that-
look at the movie business. I mean,
but let's create something. Like the reason the pipe bomb thing was so well done and people talked about it, and it's still something that's cemented in people's mind. It's because it was unique, it was different, and came at the right place at the right time. Do something unique. Do
I'm
something
pretty
different.
sure CM Punk wasn't the first guy to drop a pipe bomb. They just coined that phrase when he did it.
Is
Well,
there
here-
any other pipe bomb that you?
Paul Heyman on Vince McMahon was probably one of the most epic things ever. When Joey Styles quit WWE.
Joey Styles was actually a good one.
I mean, there have been a few pipe bombs that have happened. Dustin Rhodes in WCW when he was 7
Oh, that's right.
was fantastic. You know, there have been
I thought that was scripted though.
there have been pipe bombs that have happened before in wrestling.
But then why is the CM Punk one the only one that is remembered as the pipe bomb?
Because that's when the term came about.
That's exactly. That's just when the term came
That's when
about.
the WWE called it pipe
yeah.
bomb. Or I don't know. I'm sorry. I don't know who coined the term pipe bomb, but they pushing it as the pipe bomb.
Right. But like, here's the thing. I mean, that obviously worked before. It's happened before. It's not necessarily new. Nothing new ever happens really in anything. I mean, you look at
Lion King, Toy Story. Look at the Hollywood right now. They're
yeah, look at
recycling-
Hollywood right now. But look at one of the greatest gimmicks of all time, Ric Flair. That wasn't even original.
That's right. The Nature Boy, Buddy Rogers.
Right. His woo wasn't original. He got that from Jerry Lewis, excuse me. Like you know, nothing is original. It's just how you could take something and you can enhance it and make it better, make it your own. There's a difference.
Are you working me? You working me right now?
I'm just telling you what it is, buddy.
So you're telling me if I want to be successful in this business, I just got to take something that someone did really well and just make it my own?
Name an idea right now that you think is original, and I guarantee you someone else has done it.
A guy with $1 million.
$1 Million Man.
A guy who's great execution stuff.
Bret the Hitman Hart.
A guy who breaks hearts.
Shawn Michaels.
Damn.
I mean, it's true, I
A guy
guess.
who, I got this. Ready?
Got it?
Fuck you, bro. A guy who cuts hair.
Brutus the Barber Beefcake.
Damn.
The Miz, is the Miz original? Come on.
How about a wrestler who's a podcaster?
Zack Ryder.
Zack Ryder, right?
Oh, radio.
Yeah.
Tell me everything you know.
Do you think Raw and SmackDown are in good hands going forward? Do you think they'll get better and better? I think.
Yes. It
Ooh.
will.
While we're talking about Raw for a moment, I'm sorry. Finish your thought.
No, that's it. He asked a question, I answered it.
Yeah.
Go on.
Yeah.
So-
End of thought. Go on.
I just didn't want to interrupt you, but okay. When Paul Heyman, apparently it was the first Raw that Paul Heyman was overseeing, right? And the whole thing with Bobby Lashley happened and Braun Strowman. Okay, did that really happen because Paul Heyman was part of the show now, like he was running shit? Because that was a very elaborate plan for them within 4 days from this announcement to say, "Hey, this is what I want to do now."
Well, apparently before...
Like he pulled a lot of strings to get all of that coordinated.
Well, keep in mind, here's the thing. Eric Bischoff is a new hire. Paul Heyman's already been there. Paul Heyman's already had his hands on a few different storylines, so it's easier for Paul Heyman to integrate into that new role. So I don't necessarily think it was so brand new as people think.
Because that must have been planned for at least, 2 weeks?
I was sure Paul Heyman was
give or take a 2 to get pyro, to get all the camera crew, everything that you need to actually film it, think it out exactly how you want it.
Well, TV works, especially live TV works fast.
Very fast, yeah. It could have been a week.
It could have been. It really could have been.
Well, this is where I need the expert. Hollywood. Could something like this get pulled off like in days' notice? Like someone comes in and wants to,
Yes.
Because they have the resources to do something.
They have
like
the
this?
resources. It's not like you're working on a guerrilla indie crew. You're working.
Exactly. Yeah.
You're working with a multi-million-dollar corporation.
$1 billion.
Excuse me.
Marc Chouen checking his phone because his wife texted him. New era here in Shadow Wrestling.
It's a new era.
Going behind the scenes here, when Green Man, you interviewed PCO, right?
Yes.
Heading to the show, about to introduce the interview, I said this heartfelt memory of one of the most biggest memories I have of PCO.
Okay.
Was his match against Big Boss Man. Until I realized it wasn't PCO, it was the fucking Mountie.
I was going to say.
Like, oh man, I remember that. This match,
he was the Quebecers.
The Jailhouse match is one of the matches that stands out to me as a kid. But what a great match.
Well,
Go
if we're
check it
being
out
honest,
on the network.
If we're being honest, could I tell you a little insight into that interview that hit the cutting room floor? Please. I was so nervous to interview PCO because also PCO was really becoming the big thing. This was before he got into ROH. So I'm a little nervous. I got all my notes. I looked at videos and I'm like, all right, I know exactly how this is going to go. I planned it out all in my head. And I called him Jacques Rougeau.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
I edited it out, but I was like, ladies and gentlemen, here at the Shadow Wrestling, we welcome Jacques Rougeau.
Oh, no.
And we finished the interview. He's like, hey, bro, by the way, when you do introduction, you call me by my partner's name. Are you just ribbing me? I was like, yes. It was funny, right?
It's funny because when they go around the world, the commentary teams, Ray Rougeau, I'm like, the Mountie looks good. That's fucking the Mountie. It's fucking his brother.
But PCO, wow, what a talent, man. And what a way he has reinvented himself. It's so impressive.
Thing, man.
He had a big gap, too, right? He disappeared for a while and came back.
Dude's in his 50s, bro.
And we're talking about him.
Yep.
Yeah.
It goes to show it's never too late. It's never too late to reinvent yourself and to make a name for yourself.
Let's get into some go-home thoughts. We had a great night, Green Man, at BWF SummerFest.
Rub it in.
It was great.
You got married. Shut up. Next time we'll come from the Bronx at Darrow's Extreme Fitness 2 in the Bronx is for Escape from New York. The teams have officially been announced. Let's run down the card. Team BWF, captained by Brother Greatness, Tyree Taylor, and You're Awesome. Team One Above All, Anthony Gangone, Jack Gallo, Jay George, and a mystery partner. He has not officially announced the fourth character yet. Team WXW, Sean Multa, Wildman Rojas, Garrison Spears, and Vinnie Mac. Vinnie Mac? What? Team Young, Dumb, and Broke, Jordan Oliver, Elias Taylor, Charlie Tiger, and Griffin McCoy.
Great young kids really making their name in their
We saw them at
Standalone Wrestling at Boardwalk Beatdown. Yeah. Those kids got under my skin, though. Oh, they were so annoying, but purposely annoying.
They won, though. They delivered, yeah.
That's how much respect I had. So much respect after I left that evening about Young, Dumb, and Broke, because it was someone that I've seen images of, and I heard they were making waves in the independent scene, coming together and shit. And dudes came out and they were just so freaking annoying, but I knew they were doing it purposely. Same
way I felt about Orange Cassidy the first time I met him.
Yeah.
Saw him, yeah.
So I was like, oh, I hate these guys. And then I'm like, oh, I hate these guys because they want me to hate them because that's what they want me to do. Fuck them. Oh, I hate them even more. But they're so great.
Team SWF, Monster Mac, Magic, Steve the Body Lugo, and Jake Cage. Team IWA, Astro Morales, JD Alpha, Anthony Silva, and Frankie Picard, a good friend from Standalone Wrestling.
That's right.
This team sounds stacked. I'm looking forward to this team. Team WrestlePro, Nikos Trikos, Chris Kuling, Craig Steele, and Bobby Wayward.
Ooh.
And what they're calling Team BCW.
Oh, who?
I guess we'll just call it Team Saturation Squad.
Saturation.
Eric Jaden, Rick Recon, Dominic De Niro, and Chris Barton.
Hell yeah!
That's why I saved it for last. That's why I saved it for last. I mean, this is 8 great teams here. I'm looking forward to this. I'm looking forward to Anthony go.
There's only one dominant team, baby. There's only one that's going to win it all, and it's BCW. All the way, baby.
Shouldn't Team BCW have some BCW guys on them?
There is all BCW guys.
This is Team Satsujin Squad.
It is a Satsujin Squad. And what Anthony Cole is a genius.
Like,
You're going to put
why
four guys in one team from your promotion. Why not put a team that's already teamed together? That's pure genius by Anthony Cole. These other guys, these other promotions, they don't know what they're doing. They're putting all these random guys together. They're trying to make a dream team.
Anthony Gagone knows what he's doing.
Hollywood, you're upsetting me. You're getting me hot again.
But why wouldn't you have the champion?
Thank you,
Darius Carter
Oh my
on your
God.
team.
It's the same problem.
Because Darius Carter is all for
Hey,
himself.
bro, please stop yelling for the
He's
microphone.
all for himself. We all know that. Darius Carter looks out for numero uno. That's himself.
It's
And Darius Carter, he'll admit it himself. I'm sure he will. BCW, they going the right route. You have 4 spots. You have a stable of 4 people. Put that stable in, and they will win the whole thing. It just so happens to be my Satsujin Squad.
Will Team BCW be without you and Nia Kennedy at ringside?
Nia Kennedy, I can't speak for her, but I will say for myself, unfortunately,
Oh, you won't be there. You're in
I will be on my honeymoon. I will be in Europe.
If Nia Kennedy's not there, that kind of evens the roster. I know who you're picking. Green Man, do you have an early prediction here?
I am liking that WrestlePro team. It's looking pretty strong, man. Nico Ricos just recently on NXT.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, we saw Chris Quilling in BCW recently in a monster match. Very impressive.
He tore apart my Armani tie, by the way.
Oh,
Did you ever get reimbursed?
No, I was scared to ask for reimbursement. That dude tried to get me in a cellar. I just get out of there for my life.
It's a very dangerous job you lead.
It was. It was.
I can't really feel a commitment until I find out who the 4th member of Team One Above All is. But
are you guys seriously doubting the Satsujin Squad? Are you guys pulling a Darius Carter right now and sleeping on the Satsujin
I'm not
Squad?
sleeping on the Satsujin Squad, but I have to agree with Michael J. Putty because it's the same thing that I hate with the WWE draft. When they start drafting people and they don't choose the champion is the champion for a reason. The champion made it to the top of the mountain for a reason.
Well, who's the number 1 contender right now for the BCW World Heavyweight Championship? Who could very well be the next BCW World Heavyweight Champion? It's Eric Jaden, and he is leading the squad. He is leading BCW. He is a BCW original. I wouldn't want anyone else leading the charge for BCW.
That's cool. You can live in the future, and that's cool. You can live in the future, but this is the present. Darius Carter is the present, the now. He's the father, and he should be a part of that team.
So I bet you want Antonio Brown on your team as well, because that's exactly what Darius Carter is. He plays for himself. He is team, him, myself, and I. He is not a team player, and that's what BCW needs.
I'm very impressed with Team BWF, Brother Greatness, Tyree Taylor. You're also, but those guys are not really, the momentum is not behind them. Right now, I'm kind of feeling Astro Morales, JD Alpha, Anthony Silva, and Frankie Picard, IWA. But either we can talk all night about it. 8 teams, 8 great teams come together. Make sure you're there. August 3rd, BWF presents Escape from New York. For the Bronx, I mean, you won't be there. You'll be in the Bahamas. Where are you going to honeymoon?
I will be, no, I won't be in the Bahamas. I'll be in the Mediterranean.
Where are you going?
I'll be in Europe, my man. I'm gonna that exact date. I'm not too sure I'll be.
He's George Clooneying it.
Yeah, I am. I'm gonna be in Venice,
Hollywood, right?
Yeah,
Venice, Greek islands, Croatia, Montenegro. I'll be out there, man.
When you come back from your honeymoon, we'll come back to the Bronx for Friday, August 16th. BCW presents 25 and counting.
That's right. I'll be there for that one, and I'll see there. I'll see it, man. I'm going to be there live for it when Eric Jaden becomes the new BCW World Heavyweight Champion. Thank you.
I mean,
there's a lot of pomp and circumstances behind that voice right there, but I have to admit,
headlined by Darius Carter versus Eric Jaden.
We've been watching as fans BCW for as long as the podcast has been going on, because the company and the podcast kind of started hand in hand around the same time. And, Eric Jaden has been someone who's been mid-card, worked his up to co-main events.
As Darius Carter calls them, match number 3, Mr. Intermission.
Mr. Intermission. But you know what? He made his way all the way to the top. He didn't have it gifted to him. He wasn't the chosen one, and he had to work his way all the way to the top as a BCW original.
He
and
worked his ass off. Thank you very much.
I respect that.
What? Because Kofi Kingston 11 years he was deemed a mid-carder. Look at today. That's what counts. What matters today, not yesterday, not 5 minutes ago, today, right now, at this moment. Kofi Kingston is the World Heavyweight Champion for WWE. Eric Jaden, yes, has worked his way to this spot. He worked his ass off, but guess what? Right now, at this moment, today, he is the number one contender for the World Heavyweight Championship for BCW, for Darius Carter's title. And I guarantee you this, he didn't work this hard to just be the number one contender. No, he's worked his ass off to get what he rightfully deserves and to have that BCW World Championship around his waist. So Darius Carter, I hope you're listening. You could sleep on Eric Jaden all you want, and I hope to God you do, because at the end of the day, it's going to be 1, 2, 3, your shoulders on that mat, Eric Jaden holding your championship above his head while you are looking up above at the new BCW World Heavyweight Champion. Thank you.
You're welcome. I don't expect an answer, but yes or no. Do you know when Eric Jaden's going to cash in the BWF Money in the Bank contract?
Why would I tell you that?
I'm not asking you to tell me.
Because I know for a fact TJ Marconi listens too. He
doesn't listen. He doesn't listen.
No. He told me that. He told me that very loud and clear at the last BCW show.
I'm not asking you when. Do you know yes or no when? I'm asking you to tell me when. I'm asking, do you know when he will do it?
Yes, I do know when.
Okay, that's what I want to know. Oh, so it's predetermined.
Predetermined.
The plan's in motion. So make sure you watch your back, TJ Marconi.
Well, I got to be honest.
Wife's texting him again. Hold on.
Let's
be honest.
Hollywood did mention, Eric Jaden has been, overlooked, but he has set a plan in motion. And, a lot of the things that we are calling coincidences, I'm starting to think are not. It is not a coincidence. I thought it was pretty cool, but I don't think it's a coincidence anymore that, the Setsugen Squad is wearing masks. Yep. I do not think it's a coincidence anymore that when the Setsugen Squad started, what they were preaching to the fans was change through violence. And
correct.
It sounded like something that I've seen before. And
a repeat.
Yes. But now that Darius Carter, it's like now I see it all. Like all the puzzle is coming together. I'm like, wait a second. I did not give Eric Jaden as much credit as I should have, and I know the guy very well.
You all slept on him. Everyone has slept on him, except for me, apparently.
For copying Darius Carter's gimmick?
Copying? Do you say copying? I say playing mind games.
Yes.
We have your attention now.
Yes. He's been fucking with everybody for a very long time, and I give him credit for that. That's fucking awesome.
Moving on past Eric Jaden versus Darius Carter is going to be an epic main event. Also announced this week, the tournament to crown the first BCW Tag Team Champions begins with the first round.
That is what I'm excited about, bro.
The Rep, a guy, team you know pretty well.
Yes.
Going against your boys, the East Coast Syndicate.
Now, the first time these two teams came together, your team, the East Coast Syndicate, did not get the upper hand.
No, they did not.
And the Rep's a very tough team.
I was backstage for that one. But East Coast Syndicate, listen, you guys have seen them live and in person as well. They have grown so much more as a team.
Is there meaning behind them going by the name East Coast Syndicate, not the East Coast Satsujins or East Coast Assassins? Are they going by them solo?
Wait, you think you're a journalist right now, don't you? You feel like you asked a really good question right now, don't you? I see your dick getting hard after you're asking that question.
First of all, I've always been a journalist, and my dick's getting hard by looking at your face.
I don't know how to think. I'm a married man, buddy.
In that purple polo shirt you're wearing. Show the guns. You had a gun permit for those guns?
You want to see it?
That's intended for my Fire Island vacation, but anyway, way off topic.
Way off topic. I'm not answering your question. Move on.
But yeah, there's a lot more matches still to come. We already know that the BCW Women's Championship, has to be defended. Tasha Steelz put away Riley Shepard.
Move on.
At the anniversary show.
Faye's gonna win. Move on.
Oh,
okay.
All right.
Look at that.
Showing some favoritism over there.
Yeah, favoritism. I guess put that.
Yeah, maybe you're sleeping on Tasha Steelz, who was recently the Battle Club Pro Women's Icons Champion. Recently featured in NXT.
She's a badass chick. You can't deny that.
You mentioned the tag team tournament getting off to a great start, but also a tournament that is a fixture in BCW. And the thread that makes BCW happen is the Monster Match. So that's going to be coming back.
Do you have an announcement you want to make here?
I'm not making announcements, but you guys have seen the shows. You know that the Monster Match, they're looking to crown a new King of the Monsters. So who's it going to be? Who's going to be part of that next big Monster Match? I'm curious.
Are you feeling comfortable?
I'm very comfy.
You don't feel like Riley Shepard is taking your place? I mean, she did a great job last time.
Oh,
did she?
Yeah,
she killed
did.
it.
She killed it.
Yeah.
Good for her.
And she looked better than you did doing it.
Yeah, well, I hear the Green Man may not be coming back to commentary.
Oh, shit, really?
Oh, is this breaking news?
I hear Abel may be coming back, but the Green Man may be done.
There's just 2 indie shows coming up next month in August here in the tri-state area. Again, talk about every week here on the show. You're free Friday night or Saturday night. Check out your local indie scene. There's an indie show going on. Watch the Future coming up, because these guys you watch in the local bar hall or gymnasium, you can watch on NXT. You'll watch on Raw or SmackDown in the next couple of years. So definitely check it out. Mark, any go-home thoughts to you, Mr. Married Man?
Mr. Married Man. Go-home thoughts. Best of luck to the Satsujin squad, even though you don't need it. Much love to you guys.
They do need it. They lost last week.
Listen, I don't know why you have to be my buzzkill right now.
It's called Fair and Impartial.
Okay, here we go.
They lost to the 2-man faction. The tag team champions, BX Strong.
Technically,
So
East Coast did not lose.
Are
Okay?
they going to rename the championship to the 2-man faction championship?
God, don't give them ideas.
They
Please. Anywho, yes, sending much love to my boys, Chris Barton, Dominic De Niro, Rick Recon, Eric Jaden, Nia Kennedy. Hopefully you're at their side. I unfortunately will not be there, but I cannot wait to hear what happens, even though I know they're going to pull through.
Green Man, go-home thoughts for you.
Like you said earlier, there's a lot of great indie shows going on this weekend, and a lot of things that we do here at A Shot of Wrestling is try to get to know a lot of that great independent talent going on. So make sure you follow us on all forms of social media. Check out our YouTube, where a lot of the full interviews that we have done in the past. So shout out to those people who are going to be part of that Evolve 10th anniversary featured on the WWE Network. And if you want to find out more about one person in particular that we have interviewed who will be featured on that, Joe Gacy, you could check him out. That interview is available on YouTube. Also, Anthony Green, who recently was featured also on the WWE YouTube, because they did an article about, him being the retrosexual Anthony Green. We interviewed him, so you can get to...
Oh, my girl, Brandy.
Yes.
Oh, my
Yes.
God. Putty left some redheads. Good job, Brandy. Can't wait to watch her at Evolve 10th anniversary show.
And this weekend is also a big celebration for the 5150 Homicide, which we also got an opportunity to interview. GCW's got a great show. By the time you listen to this, it already would have happened, but you may want to find out a little bit more about Homicide, and you could check them out. It's actually one of our top-rated interviews on YouTube, so keep on adding, share it, show some love, and Joey Janelle will be part of that. We've interviewed him too, so...
Somebody else I want to find more about.
Tell me.
Is this big hulking guy hopping in my Uber, telling me to fucking hunt down this killer. If I'm an Uber driver, make sure you check out Stuber in theaters now, starring Camille Nanjiani and my man Dave Batista. And check out Batista 24 Dream Chaser on the network. So for Marc Chouen, for the Green Man, I've been your host at Mojo Putty. Check out Stuber in theaters now. Until next time, Putty. Yep. Hey baby, I hear the bell ringing, hip tosses and body slams. Oh my. And maybe you seem a bit confused, yeah baby, but I got you pinned. Ha 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 ha. But I don't know what to do when I see them with that golden case. They're cashing it in. Authority all in my face. What is a man to do? Good night, everybody.